Is this thing on? Hey nerds, sorry for the messed up lighting and the video. A small child is asleep. I left my video till literally the last second before bed, and I don't want to wake him up by filming in the next room. So this is what you got. So one of the number one questions I get asked pretty much in every interview is, where do you get your ideas from? Pretty much this is a thing that all writers get asked, so if you don't have an answer nailed down to that, you may want to figure one out. This is difficult for me to answer because it feels like I get my ideas out of nowhere, out of the blue. That's actually not the case. If I look closer, I can usually pinpoint the idea and where it came from. For me, ideas usually come from other art, so TVs, movies, and of course books, which is why for me it's vitally important to read as much as I can get my hands on. My mind will often get hung up on one aspect of a story and still be stuck on it long after the plot has moved on. For example, the idea for Witches of Ash and Ruin came while I was reading The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. It is already one of my favorite series, and one of my absolute favorite parts was just being in the house with Blue's family and seeing the women there, and they're pretty much witches, even though it's not. I don't think the author comes out and says it, but it's obvious. They're playing with magic. You just see the relationship between the women and how each individual woman is different, but they all fit into a family unit. And I just loved the dynamic of the women in the house under one roof together like that. And I just wanted more. I wanted the whole book to be about that. And that idea kind of just stuck in my head, and the idea for Witches of Ash and Ruin sort of occurred to me after that. And of course, more ideas come and more and build on top of that until I have an actual book. And usually I do have to sit down and then actually plot it out so it makes sense and it's not just a bunch of witches living in a house together, although I would probably read that as well. So usually if I'm watching a TV show or a movie or reading a book and my mind kind of sticks on something, I know that it's probably a good sign I'm going to start coming up with ideas and getting inspiration to build on top of said ideas. So when I don't read, I tend to stagnate for ideas. So it's become very important to me to find time to read, and even time to go to the movies, time to watch TV. As much as people joke about Netflix killing their creativity, for me, if I completely didn't watch any Netflix, any movies, or read any books, that would completely kill my creativity. Above all, I have to make time to read though. That's vitally important for me. And if I don't, I do find that my ideas tend to dry up, so to speak. That's why I think it's really important to pinpoint the source of your creativity so that you can keep that flowing. What about you guys? Where do you get your inspiration from? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, the WordNerds have our live chat, and we would love to see you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. For me personally, ideas are often triggered by consuming other artists. I eat their hearts, and then I get all their inspiration. Ooh boy.